So the reality is that the Olympic trials for me, I ran in the US Olympic Marathon Trials in February, and it might be my first, it might be my only, and that's totally cool by me. It was quite the experience, but what I want to start with is kind of that everyone in the room is a runner, right? And we all find that time in our lives when we feel like we've actually become a runner, like it becomes part of our identity. And for me, it took a really long time. Like, I didn't run in high school, I didn't run in college, I maybe did a 5K throughout college, and after college I decided I really feel like I need to do something. Now that I've moved to Boston, I need to do something. What can I do? And I'm like, obviously the Boston Marathon, why not, right? So I signed up for the Dana-Farber Marathon Challenge team, absolutely loved it. Never really thought much about it. I ran a 3:26 and I was totally happy that I could qualify for the next year. So I was, every year I kind of always just trained just as much as I could just so that I could qualify for the following year, and I was happy with that. Fast forward a couple years and I meet my husband, now husband, but he was way more of a runner than me. Like, it was part of his identity, and I didn't really understand that yet until we started running a little bit together, and it became part of our daily ritual. And then we actually went to a wedding in West Virginia, and I remember I was training for the Marine Corps Marathon. My fall marathon I really didn't care about. I just kind of did a marathon every fall because I felt like I had to, because everyone else around me does a fall marathon, and then they really run Boston. So I was, sort of training for my Marine Corps Marathon, and we get to West Virginia, and we're in the middle of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. There's probably 50 people that live in the town that we were going to for this wedding. So we are, in the middle of nowhere at this pretty resort with, only the people that live in that town were actually at the wedding. And Ian's like, well, I need to do 24 miles. And I'm like, where are we gonna do 24 miles? Like, it's all hills. And I don't mean like the Newton Hills, I'm talking like mountains, and just they don't end. So, I'm like, all right, I'll do part of it. I'll see if I can keep up. I'm not going to. He basically just ran my pace. And I'm like, well, I'm really not a runner, but I'm gonna go for it. So we went out on this run, and I remember thinking, I get up the first hill and I stop and I'm like huffing and puffing. I'm like, Ian, I am not like you. I am not a runner. This is just something that I like to do, but this is not me. I can't finish this run. This is ridiculous. And I was pissed. I was actually really mad at him that he took me 10 miles out to the middle of friggin' nowhere. There was a house that the guy came out with a shotgun and looked at us what are you doing? Because I tried to take a picture in front of his really nice barn. And I was so we get halfway through this run, I'm pissed. And I ended up finishing that run feeling looking at him, and I said to him, I was like, actually, I kind of feel like after this run I'm a runner. So that was my aha moment, and now I feel like it's something I can put on my Instagram, right? Amanda runs Boston, that's me. All right, so I know I only have 2 minutes, but where I'm going with this is that from that time where I started to run with my husband, I ran a 3:21. 4 months later, I ran a 3:05. The following year, I ran a 2:59. The following year, I ran a 2:51. And then the following year, he convinced me that after I ran a 2:46 at the Berlin Marathon, that maybe I could go for the Olympic trials. And I was like, fuck no. There's no way. There's literally no way I can drop 3 minutes off my time. No way. But he's like, you have 9 weeks, try it out. I was like, okay, fine. So with his help, and we hired our friend, Coach, I decided to go for it. So for the first time, I really, really dedicated myself. Every day I was running higher mileage, did my track workouts, met up with friends. And I went and ran in California, and I ran the CIM marathon. And I not only ran my 2:43, but I ran 2:40. And I decided, I guess, that I'm gonna run in the Olympic Marathon Trials. So 9 weeks after that, I ran my third marathon, which was the US Olympic Marathon Trials. And it was just more of a blessing than anything else to be there. It was something I had never thought I could do, and never even had dreamed that that was something I wanted to do. But just the fact that I got to be there, surrounded by a lot of these amazing, we actually had I think it was 20 people from the Boston community that were running there. And so I got to do not 1 lap, not 2 laps, not 3 laps, 4 laps of the same really bad course in LA, where there was a part that smelled like a really disgusting marsh. We hurdled over speed bumps. There wasn't enough water on the course. They had to get new sponges because there was they ordered sponges that had soap in them. So I'm running minutes, 25 minutes behind Shalane Flanagan and Kara Goucher, but just the fact that I got to be on the same course as them was pretty cool. So let me just, little side note and then I'm done. I actually asked Brogan a little bit earlier today, what should I talk about when I'm talking about the US Olympic Marathon Trials? And he's like, I know exactly what you should talk about. He goes,
no, don't do it.
I'm going to. He goes, you gotta be really candid. The first thing that you should really touch on and really hit home is the fact that you had on a new pair of booty shorts that they made you wear, and right before you got to the start line, you looked at Goldie and said, is my butt look too big in these shorts? And it's true. Right before I got to the line, Meb is with his ice jacket on, and he's doing these side things right in front of us, and I'm there and I'm like, these shorts are for a 95-pound girl, and I'm I don't even know my weight, I don't want to know, but I'm double the size of all the other girls, and I'm wearing these little underwear shorts because they made me wear them for my team, so there's that. Goldie told me I looked okay, and then I saw the photos. Legit, she told me today my ass was hanging out the whole time. Yeah.
Good luck.
So there's that. But anyways, my point being for all of this is that I never thought of myself as a runner, but we all find that time in our lives where we become runners to our own self, and it doesn't matter if you run in the Olympic Marathon Trials or you run your first 5K, we're all runners, and we just have to believe in ourselves and set goals and dream big, and you can figure out what happens from there.